So last week, Donald Trump's former hand-picked Attorney General Bill Barr, the guy that Trump picked to get him out of the whole Mueller investigation mess, and Barr did a good job of that for him. But Bill Barr came out during a speech and talked about the fact that, well, Donald Trump simply didn't deliver any victories to the Republican Party that any other Republican president wouldn't have done. Basically, he got you tax breaks, he killed some regulations, and literally any other Republican would have done that. So why the hell are you guys still flocking to Donald Trump when he didn't do anything for you? So on Monday, yesterday, the conservative editorial board for the Wall Street Journal, a Rupert Murdoch-owned newspaper, came out and not only doubled down on Bill Barr's comments, but actually expanded upon them in a way that I think is absolutely brilliant. So let me read you a little bit of an excerpt from this Wall Street Journal editorial board. Again, conservative paper, conservative editorial board, and this is what they had to say about Donald Trump. The rebuttal from the Trump establishment will be to cite his first term, but that record supports Mr. Barr's point. We also agree with many of Mr. Trump's policies, and we backed them during his presidency. But his most important policy victories were conventional GOP priorities delivered by people he now denounces as rhinos. The record on Mr. Trump's signature ideas isn't as successful. He failed to build the border wall, and even with a GOP majority in Congress his first 2 years, he never passed an immigration bill that reformed the, quote, credible fear standard of persecution for migrants seeking asylum in the U.S. Mr. Trump's trade agenda also achieved little other than higher costs for Americans. China's behavior hasn't improved, while the U.S. is out of the successor deal to the Trans-Pacific Partnership that Mr. Trump walked away from. That was actually a good thing, by the way, that he walked away from that. A fuller account of Mr. Trump's presidency can wait for other days, but Mr. Barr's warning is one that GOP voters deserve to hear. Democrats and most of the media want Mr. Trump to be the GOP nominee because they believe he is the easiest candidate to defeat. Republican voters have to decide if they want to let Democrats make their nominating choice for them while ignoring Mr. Barr's warning about the policy risks of a second Trump term. Now, the reason I love this so much is because that is exactly what I've been saying for quite some time now. When you talk to a Trump supporter, ask them what he did that they love so much. Like, why do you want to put him back in office? What did he do for you personally? How was your life better under Trump than it has been under Biden? What significant victories did Donald Trump secure that made your life better? They may try to dance around the issue, come up with some BS. He built the wall. No, he didn't. He built a couple portions of the wall that are now rusting to the point where they are literally crumbling if you touch them. That's shoddy work. That wall should have lasted, a couple decades before it started rusting out. But, you do things on the cheap, as Donald Trump likes to do, and you get what you pay for. But what I'm saying is every single point that any Republican brings up, any average Republican voter brings up, can be easily refuted. Oh, he got China to start acting. No, he didn't. No, just stop you right there because no, he didn't. He increased prices for American consumers. Who you think's paying those tariffs, you idiots? It's us when we buy the things. Yeah, but he took us, got American jobs back. No, he didn't. Most of those deals he worked out with companies to bring jobs back to the United States, in fact, actually not most, all of them, they never materialized. The few companies that did announce under Trump, we're going to build new factories in America and bring 10,000 jobs, they actually only brought a couple hundred jobs. The Carrier air conditioner plant is a great example of that. Foxconn in Wisconsin is a great example of that. It was all a farce. Donald Trump has no real accomplishments after 4 years in office, 2 of which he had Republican majorities in the House and Senate. He still couldn't do anything other than what any other Republican would have done, which, of course, is cut regulations and cut taxes for the wealthy elite. Because deep down, no matter what they say, no matter what they try to do, those 2 things, deregulation and tax cuts, are the only things that Republicans on the national level actually care about doing, because, of course, that's the only thing their donors care about. Another Trump term, we would probably see much, much worse. But for those average Republican voters out there, your life would not get better at all. Trump's first term proved that. Your situation didn't improve. And that is the conversation we have to have with these Republicans. And I know it's tough. I know it's difficult to make these folks think about it. But they have to look introspectively, right? They have to remember those 4 years. They can look through their pay stubs and all of that. And then they can answer the question truthfully if they have the courage to do it. Are you better off before, during, or after Trump? And the truth is, for most of those people, for most of us in this country, nothing actually changed. It sure as hell didn't get any better. That's what we need to remind these conservative voters who are clamoring for Trump again. He did nothing for you. He'll do nothing for you if he gets back in office. Because the only thing that man cares about is making money for himself and, of course, punishing his enemies. And that is the only thing we can expect if Trump makes it back to the White House. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.